another episode. It's another fucking episode. Ooh, it's another episode of Chase in Your Face. I said sing along. Ooh, it's another. I forgot the melody already. Alright y'all, what's up? So welcome back to another episode of Chasing Your Face. I'm your host, ChaseKassidy. And as usual, you heard that, that's that. I ain't got no pants on, so before we get started, I need y'all to do me a favor. Just make sure you like, comment, you share, you subscribe, you tell a friend, you tell a foe, tell a hoe, like Makari says. Listen, all that good stuff, please do that, yo. I'm ready to get to the show because this episode is a little bit different for me, I guess. I think it's one of the ones that leans a little bit more on the more important side, things that actually, you know, matter, right? I came across this video, and it's this video of Deray Davis. He's a comedian and an actor, and he's talking about, you know what? How about y'all watch it along with me? Okay, let's just do that. We watch it together, and then we can talk about it. Cool? All right, come on.
As a young guy, my mother's friends my mother was involved in a lot of stuff, but I've had older women who thought I wasn't being parented correctly, slightly try to take advantage of me, and not slightly, have taken advantage of me.
But you lost your virginity to two 30-year-olds?
Yeah.
At the same time?
Yeah, two ugly, horrible looking women.
And you were?
What was I?
You were how old?
11.
11.
Going to 12. I had no hair on me.
Right.
I remember not having, and it was disgusting. And to this day, it's difficult for women to get me to go down. It's difficult. The girls that have had it, you're welcome. But it's hard. It's hard for me. It's hard for me to go down, man, because I remember what it was like down there. It was like a scary jungle. It was a terrible place to be. It was a terrible place to be, and they were like taking turns. I was just happy to be up. And it made my Kool-Aid taste different for a long time.
I mean, we laugh about this.
I know, but because I'm a boy, I know it's different,
right.
And we should know. We need to just pay more attention to what happens. But
the first thing, it was just alarm. Listen, let's start here, okay? It's so much. Okay, let's start here. I want to talk today about abuse, because there's a lot to unpack with that video. There's a whole lot to unpack, but I want to talk about, or at least attempt to talk about something specific from that video, and I have some ideas. Some ideas about later content to break down some other pieces of this that have kind of reminded me of some things I want to discuss. But I just want to talk today specifically about abuse on young boys from older women. Now I want to say, I want to start this by saying first and foremost, trigger warning to anyone watching this video who has dealt with this. I want to say that I want to come across with the utmost respect and care in dealing with and discussing any type of situation that pertains to sexual abuse. I'm a person who has unfortunately dealt with being sexually abused as well. A very different situation as to what I'm discussing today. So I am in some ways speaking from a place of ignorance. So if there are any gaps, I always say, listen, I don't know everything. I don't claim to. I'm not trying to. But if there are any gaps that I missed today, please charge it to the game. It's not something that I mean. And drop down in the comments, and let's have a respectful discourse about that. By all means, I want to say that first and foremost, okay? But I want to talk today specifically about women and their older women abusing younger men, and how I learned over this past week how common that is, okay? A lot of things jumped out to me, but one of the first things that jumped out to me was that this sexual abuse happened by a woman in particular, 2 older women. Actually, I just want to say how disgusting it is, but you know, I would say that goes without saying, but you know, since there were people laughing in the video, thought it was really comical, I guess it does not go without saying that is something that is not necessarily funny, and as a person who has been sexually abused, I guess I feel like I have the authority to say that. But yeah, I want to focus on this with women in particular, because it seems to be that when it comes to abuse, let's just call it what it is. I may have to bleep that out. I probably will bleep that out, but you can like read my lips and kind of put the context together of like what I said there. We a lot of times seem to put that sort of abuse or that sort of action on men as opposed to women. So a lot of times we will shield a child from, you know, that one uncle, right? That's a whole nother conversation, but y'all know what I'm talking about. We'll shield a child from that one uncle or that one cousin or that one or your daddy or your whatever, right? Because that's what I guess is drilled in, and that's what's expected. But we're missing the fact that they're also women. So it seems that maybe our preconceived notions are perhaps doing our children a disservice. But let me make it more specific and say our boys a disservice, because we're gonna protect them girls, right? Yeah, that's a double standard we need to kind of talk about as well. We're gonna protect them girls, but the little boys, you know, they'll be fine when it comes to sexual things or to things that are not necessarily age appropriate. You're a little bit more lenient with the boys. Now, I'm not a parent, but I've been a child, right? And I've observed a lot of things. And come on, man, y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm not even, you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not even going to sit up here and go back right now and try to cover my bases on that, because y'all know what I mean. There's a double standard when it comes to protecting little girls and when it comes to protecting little boys. A complete double standard. It's completely different. And I think that is the window, and that may be the avenue in which some of these predatory women are sliding in and taking advantage of your young boys. But we're going to get there. We're going to get there. First of all, shouts out to DeRay Davis for explaining his trauma and trying to use that moment to, you know, even with trying to use his own humor to tell his story. I appreciate it. However, and this is nothing against Mr. Davis. It's more about the people in the room, because there's something in watching that video. I watched it maybe a few more times than I should have. And there's something about the look in his eyes, man. And y'all gotta acknowledge that. If you don't see it, scroll back in this video and check it out again. Like, there's something about the look in his eyes that when he says that, you can tell there's pain. You can tell there's behind that chuckle, behind that joke. So for me, my instinct as a black man who has dealt with this, to see something like that is to like reach out to my brother and be like, yo, I'm here to, no, you ain't got to take this moment to make a joke, because I know this ain't funny. I know on some level this is hard for you. You talking about like you're traumatized sexually in a way that you're not able to you know, perform in particular ways that your partner, like, it's like, yo, like you ain't even got to like do all that key, like I'm gonna offer you a place where like you can put that down if you need to. And I feel like that should be a more natural reaction, but as I found, that isn't the natural reaction for most. And I find it so interesting that that's not the natural reaction, because I feel like, and this is where the double standard comes back into play, because I feel like if that was okay, let's choose a comparable actor who is a female to DeRay Davis. So I guess like a peer of his. So I'm gonna go with Megan Good. So leave everything the same, except I want you to say that Megan Good is going to stand in for DeRay Davis, and instead of it being 2 women, it was 2 men. 2 30-year-old men defiled this 13-year-old woman or girl. I'm sorry. Do you think that room would have been filled with laughter in that moment if Megan Good had said, or any other actress, I'm just using her as an example, I don't know, I'm not trying to, you know, but any other actress had, like, would the reaction have been the same? If your reaction would have been the same, I want you to be bold and drop down in the comments and tell me why. Because I gotta tell you, man, I think that shit is wild. I think it's super wild if it is, because the fact that that man like said that, whether he was joking about it or not, that's his trauma to joke about. Like, so if he wants to make that joke, cool, but I also have to know as a grown person that, yo, on some level, I don't know if he, like, you could see it, like, come on, like, am I tripping? Can y'all not? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna press forward, but y'all let me know. Like, when I saw this video, like, it really, like, I felt like a fire in me for some reason. I felt like I guess like a small call to, I felt a call to action. Yes, I'm wearing my Dunder Mifflin t-shirt today, so I'm feeling my ChaseKassidy. This is so disturbing. This is terrible. Wow, that was frightening. That really scared me a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know where that came from. Like, the Anglo-Saxon just jumped right the fuck up on that up out of me. That's wild. So I did like this little case study, right, on Instagram. I felt like I felt a lot of emotion behind this, and I wanted to kind of talk about this. So what I did is I sent it to a lot of my male friends, just to like, I just wanted to know how they felt, or just like people, I just wanted to know like what your reaction would be if your homie was sitting in front of you and they said this to you. And I found two things when I did this, and it was really interesting, and I want to share that with y'all. The one thing that I found super alarming, every straight man I sent it to, every single one, replied and let me know that either that something similar has happened to them, or that they know someone that it's happened to, and that is super common. It happens all the time. And then I had one gay friend who told me that he was also sexually abused by a woman, an older woman, and he's let me know some ways that it's possibly affected him as well. But I just find it interesting that it's so well known and it's so common, yet there doesn't seem to be anything done about it. It's just really interesting to me how, I wonder why this is this common, but we seem to only focus on men as predators. When it, like, would y'all not call this predatory? Are your boys not worth like protecting as well from all angles? I'm not saying that, be a helicopter parent or anything like that, but you want to, make sure you're asking the right questions. You want to make sure that your eyes are present on everything, and then, unfortunately, sometimes even though still like people, the world is terrible, and I'm not saying that makes you any less of a parent, or you're not, you don't love your child or anything like that. But what I'm saying is that, while you're looking here and you're expecting Uncle so-and-so, it may be auntie or auntie's homegirls, or it may be any, I don't know, I don't want to be insensitive, man, but I just feel like we're not protecting our boys as much as we could and as much as we should. The fact that this is so common, and like, and maybe some parents know, like, maybe it's like, because for some, like, the double standard when it comes to boys. It's like, oh yeah, he's a man, he growing up, that's what's supposed to, like, I don't know, man, like, this shit is weird to me. It's weird. It's super weird. I don't know what that's about. Another thing that I found that was super alarming was how lightly it was kind of taken amongst my heterosexual friends. What I mean was that, I guess because it is so common to them, and because of the way it seems that, not the way it seems that, because of the way that black men in particular are conditioned in this society, that it was seen as, I don't want to, minimize it by calling it seeming like it was like a rite of passage, but like it kind of like gave that a little bit, like, oh yeah, that, and it was just like something that kind of could be joked about, or maybe not even necessarily joked about, or just, you just kind of like glaze over, like, okay, yeah, like, that's crazy, bro, like, that's wild, fam, like that sort of thing, when it's like, yo, like, I don't know, man, check on people, like, for real. Give people a lot of times black heterosexual men, black men in general don't have a safe space a lot of times, but with black gay men a lot of times, it's messy and we have our drama, but we do have a sense of community at the end of the day with one another in some way. And it's okay to be expressive, and it's okay to hug you and call you sis, and like, you know, and just be expressive and love on you. Black heterosexual men don't really have that. And then when they are able to do that, ridiculed it. Like, there's like, we gotta start creating spaces for them, man. Like, and I'm not a heterosexual male at all, but you know, so I can't speak for them, but maybe that's a deeper conversation. Actually, that's a really good idea. I'm gonna do that, but because I don't want to speak for them, but it just doesn't seem like the scales are balanced in that way. And I know, listen, black heterosexual men, we ride for y'all, we take care of y'all, and we do that shit enough. Goddamn. You know, and sometimes with no reciprocation, but at the end of the day, like, this is where an imbalance does lie, and I would like to explore that, because I think it may be the root of a lot of things that kind of like, you know, maybe fucking up the community. Like, black heterosexual men can't express. I'm finding that, you know, and even like when they have moments like of pain, like mutual pain, where they could be like sharing and growing. That's crazy, bro. That's what's like, you know, because that's all the tools we give them. That's why I'm gonna talk about that deeper. I am. And like I always say, man, I'm about to close this out. Like I always say, man, I don't know everything. Fill in the gaps for me. Get in the comments. Like, let me know. Like, for real. Like, if you are a male who has been who was sexually abused by a woman, an older woman, when you were underage, when you were younger, and you feel comfortable sharing your experience or whatever, please do, by all means. I would just even love to know what you think about this. What are your thoughts about this? How do you feel? You know, how does it affect you day to day? Also, women, y'all weigh in. What do y'all think? And anyone who identifies as anything else, what does anybody think about this? I want to know what your feelings are. So please let me know, interact with me. This was a little bit more heavy than I normally go, but like, I felt like it was a conversation I wanted to have, and I would love to keep it going. So y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Thank y'all so much for kicking it with me. I appreciate it. Thank y'all for supporting this network. Listen, man, I put my heart and soul into this. Everything that you see on this network comes from right here. From yours truly. I get to work with some incredible people here. I thank everybody on my team. I thank y'all for watching and supporting. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Make sure you tell a friend, tell a foe, tell a hoe, tell everybody that you motherfucking know that the Sweet Talker's got something going on. So listen, I love you guys, and make somebody smile today. Remember, be nice, asshole.